Debbie. It's been a while, but I want to spend more time doing the stuff I love, getting creative. So I thought I'd give it a go and have another go at making a video about what I'm doing. So let's jump right in. What I wanted to talk about today was what's been inspiring me in the last couple of months. And for me, that's really been the flowers. So it was such a dark, grey, rainy winter that when the daffodils came out, I just really enjoyed that burst of colour, and it really inspired me to, recreate it as a quilt. I ended up making 2 quilts, in fact, so I'm going to talk you through both of those quilts. So this is the first one I created. I actually started with a more complicated design of daffodils, but I decided I wanted something a bit simpler that I could turn into a cushion. So I simplified the design and made this one first. So just to run you through some of the details, and I'll put in some better pictures for you to see. The background is pieced. It was done in blocks and then cut into strips, and those were rearranged. The daffodils were applied with bonded applique with a satin stitch around the outside. Once that was all applied, I then just did some simple quilting to finish the design. I have written a blog post about this one, so I will give you the link below so you can go through that if you would like to know more details about the process. On to my second daffodil quilt. This is the one that is a lot more detailed, and this is what I originally had in mind when I saw all the daffodils outside. To take you through my process, I went from a simple line drawing to then planning out my colours, and I did this along the way. So here I decided how I was gonna cut out the different sections, which fabrics would be underneath which ones, and I've given a colour to each of the sections so I knew what colour to use. I planned out a gradient of colours to hopefully give that depth to make them feel three-dimensional. Again, the background was a pieced block with quite a simple design that could be constructed quickly. I bonded the fabric directly to the background. Again, this took a bit of time. I had to make sure that I positioned each piece really carefully, and I had a tracing which I positioned over each section to check it was in place before I ironed it on. Once the 3 flowers were in place, it was on to the thread painting. This stage took quite a bit of time. I wanted enough detail to really bring the daffodils to life, but I didn't want to spend too long on it. So it was just getting the balance between knowing when enough was enough to kind of make the effect that I wanted. Once I'd done the thread painting, it was then into making my quilt sandwich and quilting the layers together. And I wanted to really bring the daffodils forward here, so you can see that I've heavily quilted the background to really kind of make the daffodils come out. If you'd like more details of my processes, they're covered in other videos. Just take a look and you can learn more there. As I said, I've got a blog post for the first quilt, so I will share the link to that. I'll hopefully do a blog post for the second one at some point as well too. But that's really all I wanted to share today. I've got loads of ideas for lots of new quilts, So I'm hoping I will be back again in the not too distant future. Anyway, thanks for watching. Bye.